Hey there, scientists! Welcome to Room 9, the region's largest classroom. I'm Mrs. Newby. Can you say Mrs. Newby? I teach at Flynn Park Elementary School, which is in the school district of University City. And today, I'm going to be teaching science for first grade. But all learners of all different ages are welcome to learn with us today. And I am so excited that you're here today to learn more about the world around you. Let's get started. So today we're going to focus on how parent birds and baby birds act in different ways to help those baby birds survive. Now, if you think about it, no matter what type of baby it is, all babies are not yet ready to take care of themselves, right? Think about when you were a baby. Were you able to feed yourself or change your diaper or take a bath by yourself or get anything you needed completely by yourself? No, you were such a little baby. Now, are you able to just move out of your parents' house now and live on your own and take care of yourself now? No, you're still a kid, right? And that's how it is with animals. Animal babies aren't yet ready to take care of themselves, so they really need to communicate with their parents about what they need, and they also need to allow their parents to help them so that they can survive. So we're going to focus on the different ways that parent birds act to help their babies and how baby birds act to help themselves. So in order for us to get started, I actually have a really cool video to show you of me and one of my little friends, and we are actually pretending to be a mama bird, which is me, and she's pretending to be the baby bird. Now I want you to watch, so put on your science eyes, your science goggles, and I want you to watch very carefully and pay attention to what the mama bird does. So pay attention to what I am doing. Okay, now I want you to think about it, and if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, I want you to jot those down because we're going to come back to it, okay? And we're going to talk about the things that you noticed and maybe some things that you wonder. So pay attention to the mama bird. Wasn't that such a cool video? I had so much fun doing that with my friend Mia. So I asked you guys to think and pay attention very closely, and I sure hope you put those science goggles on, and I want you to pay attention to what the mama bird was doing. So if you think back at what you saw the mama bird doing, or me, because I was pretending to be the mama bird, what was one thing you saw the mama bird do? Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed also. The mama bird, or me, actually flew over to the bird's nest to what? Yeah, to feed her baby bird, right? That is the most important thing parent birds can do for their babies. Because can baby birds fly yet? No, their wings are so weak still. They need to practice so that they can actually get really good at flying. But they can't fly on their own and go get their own food. So they really, really have to count on their parents to bring them food. So that was the most important thing that mama bird did. If you have a piece of paper and a pencil, jot this down with me. So let's write here, brought the baby food. Now, was that the only thing you saw the mama bird doing? What do you think the mama bird was doing after she gave the baby bird some food, what was she doing during that time? Yeah, she was kind of like looking outside of the bird's nest. What do you think she was doing when she was looking outside of the bird's nest? She was guarding it. Yes. Parent birds also have a really important job to guard the bird's nest so that they can help keep the baby birds safe. Let's write that down. Guard the bird's nest. Yeah, those are really important things. Now, if the parent birds did not do these two things, then the baby bird might not survive, right? So it's really important that those parents take care of those babies just like your parents take care of you when you were a baby, and even now they take care of you. So I'm going to replay the video. I want you to watch it again, and this time I want you to put your science goggles on, and I want you to pay close attention to what the baby bird is doing to help itself, okay? So think about what the baby bird, or my little friend Mia, think about what she is doing to help herself to survive. Okay, and again, quickly jot those down because we're going to come back and write them down on our anchor chart. We're back. Did you enjoy watching that video a second time? I love watching that video. It was so much fun. So let's think about it. Again, I hope those science goggles are still on. What did you notice the baby bird doing to help itself? This might be a little tricky, but think about the different actions you noticed my little friend Mia doing. Yeah, that was the biggest thing that I noticed also. Mia was chirping, or she was making those bird sounds. If you probably listen very carefully outside, you probably hear birds chirping or making their pretty sounds. And when baby birds are hungry, they chirp. So do you think that that is a sign for their parents to tell them, hey, I'm hungry, chirp, 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 chirp? Yeah, and without that chirping, parent birds probably don't know their babies are hungry. So it's really important that those baby birds chirp when they are hungry. Let's jot that down. Chirping. Awesome. Now, this one again might be a little tricky, but think again very carefully about what Mia, or the baby bird, was doing in order to help itself. Now, I know the mama bird flew over to the nest and had food for the baby, but what did the baby bird do to get the food? Yeah, of course, if the baby bird is hungry, she's gonna open her mouth, right? Now, if the baby bird was not hungry, it probably would not open its mouth. But if baby birds are super hungry, of course, they're gonna open their mouth so the food can go in the mouth. That's a really important thing that baby birds do to help themselves to survive. Let's write that down too. Open her mouth. All baby birds need to be able to open their mouths so that they can actually take the food their mama bird is giving them, right? Now, we're going to take a closer look at these things, and we're going to look at pictures of actual baby birds and parent birds as examples to see the different types of birds that do these things. Let's take a look.
Okay, we've been learning so much about different animals and birds especially, so we're going to do some movement exercises for a little break, and we're going to act like different animals. Mia, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get started. So we're going to hop like a bunny first. You ready? Let's go. Boing, 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 boing. And let's jog backwards. Jog, jog, jog. Jog, jog, jog. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to run fast like a cheetah. Now, do cheetahs run on 2 legs?
No.
No, they run on all 4. You ready?
Yeah.
Super fast. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Oh, okay. Jog backwards. Jog, jog, jog. Awesome. Woo. Okay, one more. We're going to climb like a monkey. Okay, let's go. Woo, woo, ah, ah. Climb, climb, climb. Climb. Woo, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, thanks for helping me. High five.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so now that we got a chance to move around, wiggle, and act like silly animals, let's take a look at some examples of actual birds doing the things that we just learned what they do to help those babies to survive. So if you take a look at this picture right here, this is a picture of a mama and a daddy stork bird, okay? So they're actually at their nest, and the babies are probably in that nest somewhere. So think back up whenever Al was acting like a mama bird, and we kind of jotted down some notes. What do you remember parent birds do to help their babies? What do you think these birds are doing? Yeah, they're guarding the nest. And they kind of look intense, don't they? I would kind of be scared if I saw these. I would not want to go near that nest. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're guarding the nest so that predators or other animals that like to attack them will stay away. They want to protect their babies by guarding the nest and making sure that no other animals gets near their babies. And that's super important for parent birds to do. And we see that in this picture. So birds do this. Let's take a look at other examples of how birds take care of the babies. What do you notice here? What are these baby birds doing? Now, I so wish we could hear it and it could be a video, but what do you think they're doing and what do you see them doing? 2 things. By the way, aren't they so cute? Oh my goodness. Yeah. I see them, first of all, I see them opening their mouth. I noticed a lot of you guys noticed that also. They're opening their mouths because they're what? They are hungry. Yes, they probably see their mommy or their daddy flying closer to them with some food in their beak. So they're probably super excited and they have their mouths open because they want to be fed. Now, what do you think, if this was a video, what do you think you would hear these birds doing? Yes, definitely. I would hear chirp, 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 chirp. Because that's another way that baby birds help themselves to survive by letting their parents know, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, give me food. So just like when you were a baby, or think about it, do you have a baby brother or sister? What do they do like all of the time? Yeah, they probably cry a lot, right? And that's baby's way of telling their parents, hey, I'm hungry, or I need a diaper change, or maybe I'm hurting, something, right? Or maybe I'm super tired and I'm sleepy, so they cry. And that's the same thing with baby birds. They chirp to let their parents know that something is wrong or that they need something. Let's take a look at one more picture. Now this might be kind of similar, but again, take a look at what you notice. This one's so cute too, right? So I see a baby bird here kind of poking his head out, and I also see another one kind of hiding right here. What do you notice them doing? Yeah, the same thing as the other birds, right? The baby birds. They have their mouths open. Now this bird, I'm guessing, is super hungry because he just shot his head way up the nest and he's not letting his brother or sister poke their head out, right? He's probably so hungry, you're like, get out of my way, I need some food. I probably would be like that too if I was super hungry. But yeah, this bird is so hungry, so he has his mouth open so that he can gobble up that food that his mama or daddy is gonna come and get him. And I bet if we could hear the sound, we will hear them say, chirp, 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 chirp. So that's kind of cool. And I want you to also, next time you go outside, I want you to listen. Listen very carefully. Turn off your music, or maybe just like be quiet for just a second or a few minutes and listen to the sounds that you hear. And I bet you will hear lots of chirping and lots of bird noises. And it's kind of exciting to be able to listen and hear that. And I bet some of those bird noises are baby birds chirping for their mama or daddy to bring them some food. Kind of exciting, right? Yeah. So I actually have a challenge for you. So let's scoot back to our anchor chart so that I can show you a challenge that I want you to do at home now that we've learned this information about birds. You know, all this talk about birds has me wondering, is there a real life job that I could maybe do that has to do with studying birds? Have you ever wondered that? Why is it so important to learn this kind of stuff, right? I'm sure you probably think that sometimes. Well, guess what? There's actually a type of scientist called an ornithologist. Can you say that? Oh my gosh, that's a big word. Ornithologist. Now, that type of special scientist actually focuses only on birds. They study birds, they study where they live, they study where they travel, how they act, what types of nests they build, what they look like, and they study it all of the time with all kinds of different birds to learn more about the world around them and how they can help nature better. That's so awesome. So if this stuff is super interesting to you, look up and maybe research what ornithologists do, and maybe you can think about and research different people who live in your neighborhood or in your city that are called ornithologists, so that maybe you can interview them or ask them some questions, because that is a pretty awesome job. Just to spend all day long being outside and studying birds, so cool, right? Okay, so I wanted to remind you really quick what we learned today. We learned that the mama and a lot of daddy birds also do these two things to help their babies to survive. They bring the baby some food because the baby can't fly yet, right? So let's actually jot that down really quick so that we actually know why the parent birds do what they're doing and why the baby birds are doing what they're doing. So we know that the mama bird and daddy bird actually bring the baby some food because why do you think? Yeah, and I mentioned it even earlier. I'm going to put it in blue right here so that we know it's the reason why. So I'm going to put right here, baby can't fly yet. Eventually they're going to learn how to fly, but not yet. So why do you think the mama and daddy birds actually guard the bird's nest? What do you remember whenever we saw the picture of the storks? Why do you think they're doing that? Yeah, to protect the birds, right, from predators. So let's write that right here. Protect babies from predators. Awesome. Okay, so those are super important that the grown-up birds do, or the parent birds. Let's take a look at what the baby birds do and why it's so important. So baby birds, in order to help themselves to survive, they have to chirp and they also open their mouth. Why is that important? Yeah, they chirp to let their parents know they are hungry. They are hungry. Awesome. Now, why do you think they open their mouths whenever they have food coming at them? That's pretty easy, right? If you're hungry, you're gonna open your mouth too, right? They open their mouths because they're hungry and they want to get the food that their parents brought for them and eat it. So they're super important. So now that we know what these birds do and why they do them, I want to challenge you to be creative. So now I want you to get your creative mind going. Put that creative mind on. If you need to have a thinking cap, go ahead and put that on so that you can think very carefully. And I want you to be super creative in putting this information in a story. So we call fiction books story books, meaning they're not true, but they can still give us some information about some things. So you can tell a story about a pretend mama and baby bird, and you can also include some of this information that the mama bird or the baby bird might do for these reasons. Now I have an awesome example that I wrote and I want to show you. So this could be a good way for you to kind of get an idea of maybe what type of story you want to write. So the name of my story is called Baby Goes Chirp. Okay? Now I had to think very carefully about what the mama bird and the baby birds do in order to help the baby bird. And I wanted to put that in my story. Okay? So let's just back this camera up so you can see my whole story. Awesome. There we go. Okay, so it says, once there was a baby bird and mama bird who lived high up in their nest. So their nest was super high up in a tall tree. Now notice that I have a capital letter at the very beginning because at the very front of our sentence, we have to have a capital letter. And the rest of the letters are lowercase. So the most important thing is that first letter. It has to be a capital. And all the other ones are lowercase. And then when I paused, I put my period there. So a period always goes at the end of your pause. And notice I have my pretty spaces between my words. It's really important to separate those words with a space. Let's keep going because I'm curious about this story. It's been a long time since I've written it. Okay, so once there was a baby bird and mama bird who lived high up in their nest. The baby bird was very hungry, but she didn't know how to fly yet to get her own food. Why do you think I made this word here, very, in all caps? Yeah, it makes it pop in the story. You'll probably notice in some of your books that there's some words that might pop because they're either super dark letters or they're capital letters. And that's to help you whenever you read it out loud to read it with expression. So listen again to how I read this word very in this sentence. The baby bird was very hungry, but she didn't know how to fly yet to get her own food. So the all caps helps me know that I need to say it with expression, like be dramatic about it. So maybe you can add pop out words like that in your story. Let's keep going. She made the biggest and loudest. I probably could have put those in all caps also, because I'm using expression, aren't I? Yeah. She made the biggest and loudest chirp sound so her mama could hear her from far away. You know what I'm thinking right now? I can probably use my marker and underline those words so it can be with expression. The biggest and the loudest chirp sound so her mama could hear her from far away because the mama wasn't at the nest. So the baby bird had to say, chirp, chirp. And why does the baby bird do that? Yes, to tell their mama bird that they are hungry. Good. So, minutes later, the mama bird came flying toward the nest with a delicious worm for baby bird. Wow. You know what I'm noticing though about my writing? When I just reread it, I noticed that I did not put a capital letter at the beginning of one of my sentences. Did you notice that? Look at this last sentence. It starts with the word minutes. Silly me, I didn't put a capital letter. Let's change that. I'm going to change this into a capital M. Minutes later, the mama bird came flying toward the nest with a delicious worm for baby bird. Yum. Now, I kind of wish I had more room because I would love to draw a picture of that tall tree I explained and the bird's nest and the baby bird chirping super loud. So when you write your story, you can also include pictures and picture details to go with your fiction story about baby birds and parent birds and what they do to help the babies survive. I hope you have so much fun doing this, and I hope you have even more fun exploring outside and listening to those bird sounds that you hear all around you. And I will see you next time. Bye!
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.